person until I went to NAMM in January. So for 5 or 6 years, we've had this social media friendship going. I've collected my gear over that time as well. But having the access to actually get there, meet him, discuss the products face to face, actually demo the products. You don't see a lot of the gear over here. It's all in the shops. You got, Ampeg and Messer and Mark Bass, and you don't see a lot of Ashdown. But I've played all of those brands previously. Once I got my hands on Ashdown, that was it, man. There was no going back.
Sweet.
So just establishing that contact with him, and he's been so... That's the thing about Ashdown. They're a family company, and they class all of their players worldwide as family. So that was one of the first things that Mark said to me when I first met him was, "Man, you're family." And he genuinely means it. So that's how they think about all their players that play the brand. And I'm talking Adam Clayton from U2, Nate Mendel from Foo Fighters.
Wow.
Biffy Clyro.
Hey, Google.
All my favourite bands.
I can't connect to your Wi-Fi network. You can reconnect to Wi-Fi from your Google Home app under Devices.
Google Ashdown. Google Ashdown.
Ashdown,
Google.
make one of those.
Forgot
and
where
it's
modem
better.
was. No, it's...
Got a VU meter, right?
But I mean, even at NAMM, we were talking about System of a Down before. Like, I met Chavo at the booth, at the Ashdown booth, and all their players are really cool. They're just genuine people like us, man. It's amazing. It was really cool, really good to meet. And Mark, yeah, exactly the same. That's the sort of company they are. To have someone on the other side of the world.
But it kind of goes back to what we were saying before, how social media can, it has its advantages as well as the disadvantages, doesn't it? Yeah.
I remember back to when I first started playing, I was playing PV rigs, and I approached PV back in the early 90s. And I remember everyone tries to go for endorsements. Players do. I've been playing for 30 years, and I didn't even get looked at until... And I'm not fully endorsed. I mean, I still buy my stuff. It's just that you've got the backing of the company, whereas going back 20 or 30 years ago, you'd receive... Well, there was no internet. You'd write hand write a letter asking for an endorsement or some sort of, assistance from a company, and it just wouldn't happen. Whereas nowadays you've got millions of people contacting them, and I was just lucky enough that I've picked up what I've got through these guys. They're amazing.
After this podcast, you'll be able to send them another invoice.
That's right. You hear this? You hear this?
Yeah, because you guys sounded so good.
We couldn't hear it through. You had headphones on.
Because before I put the headphones on, I was like, oh yeah, and then I saw Drew in dreamland listening to you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on. So I put mine on. And I was like, okay, now I know what Drew's doing.
Yeah,
it sounded so good.
Vocals, it's actually, you could appreciate how rare it is to find someone that can play bass and sing.
Yeah.
But your lead vocals far out. How good is it, Matt, when you hear the band you love singing the song that you've heard a million times, sing it like the record? When they sometimes back in the day they'd go off and sing your favourite song a little differently.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
Yeah.
I know when I hear...
But
I played a gig at Purga Creek for the bikies.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was fun at Purga Creek. And a band came on before us, they were a covers band, and you hear that Hell's Bells kick in, and my ears just pricked up, and I went, fuck, yes, this is going to be awesome. And that was the best part of the whole night, because everything after that was...
Tragic.
Flawed.
Really
flawed.
Yeah.
And so you're just devastated. But a lot of people still get off on that. They don't go to a show to hear it CD quality. Some people don't. Their ears aren't really geared for any of that. They couldn't care less. So they're going purely for the energy, and if it's a good night, then it's a good night. So,
but it means a lot for you to be now singing in Outshined.
Yeah.
To have the understanding that we want to hear it like the record, like because that's what we want. And
But
then
what
not
about the
everyone can do that.
guitarist?
Not everyone can even hear that.
No, well, people exactly guitar.
The guitarist, because you guys like do it as it's supposed to sound.
Yes.
And then you have this vocalist that goes, I'm going to put a different spin on this. And it just, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you would,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know, you've got all the cues that you need to hit as it all goes through, and if somebody messes it up, you know, I've seen the Cult a number of times, love the Cult.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd seen him earlier on, and he could be scrappy at times, and obviously that was in his pre-sobriety days.
Yeah.
But, like, hear him last time, they just nailed it. Eaton's Hill, I was at that gig too, they just nailed it the whole way through. Ian Astbury was incredible, whereas he could be hit or miss on any given night.
Yeah.
And you could
Really?
walk away feeling, oh, it's a bit sketch.
Yeah.
But
He's
yeah,
very
the last
much
couple
one
of,
for singing like a chorus a little different to the record. Like,
Yeah.
and the last couple of times I've seen him spot on, just
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
He's a good entertainer, you know.
He's
He's a
one of-
paradox.
He's
like,
one of the best.
He's actually
Yeah.
quite quirky and funny. Do you remember when they were...
Doesn't take himself too seriously.
No.
he doesn't.
But he's sort of like the goth lord.
Yeah.
I know, that's what I
Well,
thought.
here's the... Can I tell you a funny story? Right beside me, so we all drove up. Chippy was in my car. I took Chippy up there. He was mixing the support band, whoever they were called.
Mixing something.
Yeah. Anyway, and we get up there, and I look beside me, and there's 6 drunk blokes, and one of them was wearing Currumbin Tavern. We're like an hour and a half from Currumbin, and these dudes are pissed. They're so pissed that the security kicked them out. All bar the drunk guy with the Currumbin Tavern, who actually loses his group right beside me. And we're 6 in from the crowd, and it's about 80% of the Cult gig is done. And this dude's like slobbering over people and knocking people over. And Ian Astbury actually pulls up his glasses, you remember this, and he points to the guy wearing the Currumbin Creek Tavern, and he says, hey. And the dude sitting beside me just looks up and goes, oh, shit. And he turned like a situation, a bad situation, into a great situation. He was a great front man. But meanwhile, everyone expected him to be this moody goth lord.
I remember the night.
I was just trying to think back to see if I wore my Currumbin shirt that night.
It was you. It was you, Matty, was it?
That big day out, 94, you were talking about earlier, and the Cult headlined, and sitting back there, that's the end of, as we always seem to cop, Queensland seems to cop them at the end of New Zealand and every other fucking state. So the vocalists are often shot, but Astbury was shot that night, no doubt about it, and he had a tambourine and a black kilt, and he frontmanned his way through that. Like, I knew he had no voice. He was singing ordinary and not hitting anything he should have been. But he still absolutely cooked. It was one of the best gigs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that's from someone who loves to analyse a singer. But he had no voice. And unfortunately, that happens to singers. And you can't just go, oh, dude, can you give me a bit more... sometimes you're just fucked, and you've still got to perform. You've still got to do something, and he did that. Astbury did that night.
One of my
That
all-time
was special.
favourite Cult stories. One of my good friends is a Cult fanatic, as we all are, and he was in England living there, and he went and saw them at some place in Brixton or something, and Ian Astbury threw the tambourine out, and as he threw it out, he's gone and he's reached up and he's grabbed it, and as he's grabbed it, another guy's grabbed it as well. And there was a tug-of-war with Ian Astbury's tambourine, and his mate was there, and his mate's about 6'6". He's just come over, and you'd expect him to be... Then he just gets the other guy's arm and gives him a Chinese burn. Lets the tambourine go, and he's got the tambourine up his shirt, and he's out. He's still got it. It's his pride and joy. He goes, had to go a Chinese burn to get that.
Wow.
When was the last time he did a Chinese burn?
I know. I'm just thinking the
Primary
UFC.
school.
The UFC should start that. Like, who's doing UFC? Chinese burns out there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
We used to do them legit. Now we only demonstrate them.
All right, champions.
All
Hey,
right.
I want to thank you guys for coming in.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you so much.
When is the next show?
Thanks for having us.
15th of May, 19th of May.
11.
No,
Oh,
next,
11.
our first
There's one
Friday.
before that.
Yeah, this one's Friday coming up at Byron Bay at the Beach Hotel,
And
11th of May.
What a place.
And then 16th at the...
19th of May.
Saturday the 19th.
And the best thing, if you want the genuine 90s experience, is to see it at the Shark Bar, because it's got the genuine 90s carpet still. It smells beautiful.
We've got to say though that
Awesome, I love it.
the whole reason that
My
we are
favourite.
doing this one on the 19th is it is the 18th of May is the anniversary of Chris Cornell's passing. So he actually passed.
Oh.
He died on the 18th last year. So
Yeah.
the whole basis of the Shark Bar show is it's a Chris Cornell memorial tribute.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You know, I was at the Gold Coast Music Awards. They won Venue of the Year.
Sharky,
Yeah.
I love the Shark.
congratulations to the staff and crew at Shark
Sharky's
Bar.
Such a
Alright.
great size room. Perfect size
Yeah.
room.
It's the Shark Bar.
And
Don't
they-
you love that?
you-
Just
yeah.
saying that.
Because they have a lot of
To think.
punk bands
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, Cactus Dildos.
Cactus. Did you say dildos?
Well,
One of the-
that's
one of the
how
entrants in
Fraser
the,
pronounces it.
Really?
And he's in the
a good
band,
way
so
of
I'm
saying
thinking it must be
Cactus
right.
dildos. Cactus
Or is it
dildos.
Cactus Dildos? Or maybe I
Cactus
misheard.
dildos.
Maybe I was just drunk when
I believe you.
Arriva!
Let's,
Andale, andale.
all right, now, how should we round this one off? Is there anyone you want to thank? What's coming up in the future? What do we do?
Find us on Facebook under Outshined Oz Show. 4 gigs coming up in the next month.
I would like to thank all of your partners because they must be very understanding people.
I've seen my wife about an hour in the last month.
There you go.
How awesome's that?
And your daughter. Like, oh my God, you've been so patient all night.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Haven't you?
You're very right. You're very right. We put we put him through a lot.
Yeah, Sarah just said about Josh.
Yeah, that's
No? Huh?
Did you say that
Sean. Oh, yeah. Our original guitarist who moved overseas, Sean, he was actually an integral part of actually starting this, so he should definitely get a mention.
and he definitely named the
girl.
band.
Yeah, he did name the band.
He did
and he
name
created that artwork, the logo that I'll get you to print for me, Drew.
And
That's
then
all
he
his work.
left us
And then
hanging.
he left to go to the States. But also, yeah, Sala, when I thought she said Josh, I should really thank both our crew members, being my son Josh, who does all the lighting for the gigs, and also Chippy, who does all our audio, and all the boys.
Thanks,
as well.
fellas.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Aw.
And thanks for having us, really.
Yeah, thank you. Rad.
And will you be there, Drew? I'll be looking. I'll be fucking looking. You better be there.
I bet you're gigging.
If you ain't there,
I bet you're gigging, aren't you?
I am on the 19th.
What about the 11th?
Who doesn't want to go to Byron Bay?
I'll go to
The
the bar.
11th.
Yeah, I'll go
see
to
you
Byron
there.
Bay.
All right.
See you there.
Wonderful.
Byron
Right,
Bay.
champions.
Byron Bay, Friday, 11th of May.
Thank you, Matt G. Matt G Photography. Thank you.
Hey Matt, hey Matt G, what are you doing on the 19th? We need a photographer for the Shark Bar.
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a kebab.
In
He's
Noosa.
having a curry down the.
Would you believe?
What about you, Rick's Rocks? Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you.
for having us,
Yeah.
Ricks.
Thank you.
All right,
You
now
made it very easy.
let's end this. This podcast is brought to you by Koala Calm with the Gillo drink. Sit back, relax, and all right. What's a horrible song from the '90s we should all sing on the way out? Here we go. Can't touch this. Do do do.
That's 80s. That's 80s. Yeah.
That's not 80s.
Sort of fucked up.
Yeah, it's isn't it?
Okay, let's think of the worst grunge band. I can't think of many.
I'll just get.
90s.
Well, that's a great question.
Oh, well, 90s.
That's a
Isn't
great
that like
question. Do you-
Backstreet Boys and shit?
No,
Wasn't
the
that
worst
90s?
90s grunge band is Nickelback, isn't it?
Okay, I'll take that.
I just blame them for everything. All right, so there you go. Nickelback,
Oh,
get
never
fucked.
mind, Nickelback is so much shit.
Over and out.
I'm not blocking Blaisley.
Yeah, and as I'm trying to sleep, I got the mud beneath my shoes. Rubber band, gun in hand, I wanna use. Wrong.